Throughout history, men have always been drawn to grass. Whether it be in the park, a sports ground, or simply in your own garden, there's just something about those quintessential British stripes that makes you want them for yourself. Not to mention getting one over on your neighbours. Follow Daniel on his lawn journeys in his step-by-step videos this year, whilst you create your own lawn journey, achieving that dream lawn you have always wanted with simple and easy to follow methods. The lawn you have always dreamed of is only a grass seed away. Now sit back and enjoy the video. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to subscribe, you know what to do.
So welcome back to part 2. Today I'm just going to dig this horrible patch out, which is all the weed grasses that I took from over there and put in there, hoping to have done this a long time ago, but they've actually rooted now, so it's going to take a bit longer to dig out. And then we're going to dig this trench out here, probably about a foot wide, and get rid of all this annual meadow grass and these horrible, I don't know what they are, they look like some kind of ryegrass because they've got a red base, but they're not any ryegrass I want, so we'll get rid. So let's go and get the wheelbarrow, a spade and a shovel, and we'll get this in the skip that Keith has ordered today. Okay, so that was easy enough. Just now time to do this bit along there. Then we'll get it in the skip. Then we'll scarify, cut it really short, and then we'll fill that in. What we don't want to do is fill that in first, scarify everything. When there's any like annual meadowgrass seeds in there, we don't want it coming over here, so we'll do all that last. So once we dug the sides out, we then go on with the hater. I put it on setting number 1 first, but it was too thick to be taken up, so I just lifted it up to 2 and removed the bulk of the grass, and then went on with the cylinder, set quite low, and give it a double pass, as you can see. And now we're ready to scarify. So I've got that on quite a low setting. The setting doesn't really matter on my scarifier because the blades are so blunt. The number 6 is very low, but if that was a brand new blade, then it would be way too deep. So just bear that in mind when you're doing your own, if you've got a bladed scarifier. So we're just filling up the middle hole there, and we're going to put some in the wing down the side. We're just using the root zone that Keith dug out for his new flag row on the right hand side, down the side of the border. We know it's exactly the same as what's been in the rest of the lawn, so we know it'll blend in well. Right, so I've just put the old root zone back in the hole, and I've just levelled it off with some of the top dressing we had left over from when we did the other side. That now is like egg timer sand, it's bone dry, so we have to wet this through now. So I'm just going to leave the hose pipe on it and let it soak it up, and then it will go firm, and then we can final level it off later on when we come to seed. So I'm just going to crack on with this side now. Just got to finish this side. Done the same here, dug all that wheatgrass out, and then refilled it with the root zone Keith dug out from where he's putting his flags, so we don't have to buy any in, and we just spent a bit of time just fishing out bits and bobs of turf that was left over and twigs and stuff. So just catching my eye over that lawn, and that's really coming on, so I'll give that a cut later, and in a week this is going to be top dollar. So let's get the hose pipe on this, and then we can get on with what else we need to do, which is seeding over there. I've put a wetting agent on there and I've cheated a little bit, and I'll show you that in another video, but it's a genius way of getting a wetting agent on without spraying and not having to do two things, as in spraying and then watering. You can do it all in one go, so I'll look forward to showing you that one as well. Right, so I feel like we're getting somewhere. That sand soaked up all the water now, so that's looking a lot better. So you should be able to walk on it and not sink. Still a bit squidgy, so we'll just leave that a bit longer just to soak up the rest. Ready to seed now. We've given this a wetting agent, a lot of water. I filled in a little bit of a hollow over there from where the wood was put in, where the old patio used to jut out. We filled that in, and I just went over with the old root zone and some of the new top dressing and put that in. We're still a bit shy of the wood, but there's nothing we can do about that. We'll level most of the way, but unfortunately that's going to have to stay like that, because if I built it up to the edge of the wood, I'd end up with a bit of a slope and I wouldn't be able to cut it because I'd dig in. So we'll just leave that as it is. So we've got some nice grooves. What I did do this morning, because of all the workmen walking on it, we cut it again because it had grown, and then I went over again with the scarifier just to create some more grooves because they'd all been squashed. And I didn't go over the mower this time to pick up what it brought up. I just blew it off and it's all down there on the other lawn, which I'll pick up when I mow next time. So what we can do now is seed. We've just been to the garden centre and got the Jack's Magic old formula they had in, which is good. And then we're going to cover this because there's a jubilee party in 2 weeks. So literally we're on a deadline here, so we need to get every kind of advantage that we can to get this lawn looking half decent for then. That lawn over there is going to look good. Cut that just before we went to the garden centre while I was waiting for Keith. So that's on its way. This just looks like a bomb site, but method in the madness, or madness in the method, whichever way. So let's get all this hose pipe cleaned up and then we'll get on with the seed, because wind's dropped now as well, so that's perfect. Right, I'm ready to go on with my seed. I've got 35 grams per square metre to put on. That gives us around 10 kilos with a lawn this size. I know this fits 5 kilograms in, so I'm going to have to do 2 passes with the spreader in terms of cover it once and then go over it again. So I'll just go left to right to get some nice even coverage, and then we'll be ready to go with the Jack's Magic. Remember, you weigh what you need. If you're not confident to do it all in one go before you run out, just drop the setting down to something you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable to know that at 32, which is the highest setting on this, it comes out at a rate which means I won't run out before I get to the end or anything, so just bear that in mind. So let's get on with it. Alright, so that's the seed on. Now it's time for the Jack's Magic. Managed to get 21 bags of old formula today, which is good. Took Keith with me to the garden centre and we got that just before. So let's go and get it out and we'll get it on and then we'll get it covered. Right, so we're going to do what we did last year here. I'm not going to tip a bag out and rake it all over because we need too many bags. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to throw it out like we're spreading chicken feed, and that worked absolutely fine last year because we'll get more out of it that way, and we can just brush it in at the end, and because we're covering it we don't need a thicker coating, so I'm just going to literally just give it a little shake like that and just kind of sprinkle it over the surface. We've put the wetting agent as well, so it's really damp. I see no problems going forward, and then just to get that final level we can just go over it with our leaf rake or a brush, whichever one you want, and that'll be it, and then we'll get it covered. So glad I got the Jack's Magic today. Like I say, a bit worried that they'd have had the new formula and that could have caused problems, because I mean I would have had to go home and go into my secret stash. So I just kind of shouldn't have put those bags there. I'm having one of those days today where you don't prepare very properly and you end up failing. So I've not brought any tools with me, so I'm kind of improvising. So we'll get there. Got a lot on, and it's just hard work remembering to do things when you've got other things to do as well. So anyway, that's not me moaning, but hopefully it is just that and nothing else. So just do that. Don't matter if you get any big clumps, because you can have just stand on them and break them down, and then we'll brush it over. But this way you definitely will get we get like, what, 9 square metres out of the bag. You're probably more likely to get 12 out of a bag doing it this way. And end up with a similar result. Yeah, so like I said, there's a party going on here for the for the Queen's Jubilee thing. So it needs to look half decent for them. So we took the decision to put the covers on just to speed things up and give us a head start. So yeah, so coming to the end of the bag, and yeah, I'd probably say we've done 12 square metres there, or maybe 16 actually. We'll have a pace up at the end and we'll have a look. So yeah, I'll just tip this out. Obviously I'll have to put a bit more there, but if we just kind of take it from there, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's like 12 square metres doing it that way. And obviously then when we rake it as well, we'll probably just brush it a bit further as well and get some more out of it. So yeah, so let's crack on with the rest and I'll see you in an hour or so. Now, I've just done this little strip here, I'm just sprinkling some seed on it. I've not weighed it out and I've not measured the area, but you could do, and that will give you a more accurate results. But I've been doing it 25 years now, I know what looks about right. So I'm just sprinkling it on, making sure I don't get any in the path because I don't want any growing in the grooves in the porcelain. So just get this done and then we'll get on with the middle bit and then we're ready to do the main bit of the lawn. So the same drill over here, I'm just taking the seed straight out of the hopper and just guessing how much I need and just putting it on again. Just been doing it a long time, I know it looks good. So we'll get that bit done. What I also did was I had to water it really, really a lot because the top dressing sand is so dry, it takes forever to absorb the moisture. So I doused it and let it soak, and then went on my fork and forked it in and mixed it all up, raked it and stuff like that, and then went over it once it had become firm enough to trample it all in, and then I give it a gentle rake and then put my seed on, and then to finish what I'll do is I'll go over with another fine layer of the top dressing, and then that is job done. Then we can seed the rest and then get the covers on. So just going on with the seed now, with the seed that I had left over from just doing the bit that we covered over. That was done on Saturday, and this job now is on Sunday. And what I did do before seeding, I went over again with the scarifier just because we've been walking all over it. We squashed all those grooves up, and then I raked up the rest of the stuff that came up just so we didn't re-squash the grooves. Alright, so we're coming to an end now. Put the seed on and put the Jack's Magic on. Notice how I don't put any Jack's Magic on the seeded area in the middle because that's got Jack's Magic mixed in to the root zone there. So we cover it, and then all we need to do is water it religiously until we take the covers off in a week. So join me next time when we'll be doing that, and we'll see how this side looks and how good the other side has come too. So see you soon.